Let's go over to Isa Gusau. He's the SA media to the governor of Borno State to talk more on the situation in that state. Good morning, Isa. I understand that finally your government has been able to go through that video, and some of these students have been identified by their parents as well as relatives. Could you tell us more on that particular video?
Boko Haram released a video on Monday. As soon as that video was released, the governor of Borno State, directed that the video be mass produced by a committee headed by the chief of staff with the involvement of the chairman of Chibok local government, the commissioner for education, some officials of that school. They met with parents and students, starting with Chibok. Some parents were made to view this video. There were preliminary reports on Monday. On a face value, it was generally agreed by everyone that the whole of these girls, are part of the students of Government Secondary School Chibok. But then the governor insisted that we should go beyond face value. We should identify the names of each and everyone on that video. So the governor felt probably it was more convenient to bring them to Maiduguri. So a group of parents were brought to the government house, in Maiduguri. Some teachers were actually also brought, and some students, particularly those who escaped, the abduction, were all brought. We had the involvement of the State Security Service, an official of the State Security Service. They did the identification. So far, 77 of the girls have been identified by their names. Now, the parents and the teachers were in batches. Another set of parents and students are expected in Maiduguri. They started actually last night. I was just made to understand. They are working on another round of identification exercise. Our commitment is to see that each and every member of that, each and every person on that video is identified by name. That is the situation now.
Well, anyway, going forward, has there been any special attention given to these parents and relatives by your government before now?
The governor was in Chibok, his wife was in Chibok. The commissioner for health has been given some specific assignment on Chibok. Look, the fact of the matter is that we have been very careful. Otherwise, as soon as those girls were released, what the governor had in mind was to take them out of the country. But then, we have found ourselves in a very difficult situation. There appears to be some people, who are hell-bent on creating a false impression around, the Borno State Government. If we are taking these people abroad, the conspiracy theory of saying that probably the abduction did not even take place would have tried. The next thing they would say is, okay, why are they taking them abroad? They are taking them abroad because probably it's even false that nobody was abducted. That's one. Secondly, we probably would have been accused of politicizing the whole issue. So for that reason, the governor said, look, let's allow them. We are having visiting journalists. Let whoever wants to interact with them should go and interact with them. After they are done with what they are doing, then we'll take our own, position as a government. But there is so much counseling going on through the Ministry of Health. Now, having said that, please, I want to seek your permission to respond to 3 issues, said by one of your discussants yesterday, Mr. Max Baniti, if his name is correct. I think he's a security consultant. First of all, I thank him for appearing on that program because he must have had concerns for Borno State. Otherwise, I don't think he'll be there. But then, I think as a security consultant, with very due respect, I expected, someone to speak, from a more informed, perspective. He did say that it was wrong for Governor Kashim Shettima whether to have come public to say that he passed, information, to the military. You see, in the last 3 years of this counterinsurgency and insurgency issues. As a government, we chose not to talk. You might recall that my first appearance on channels was about 3 months ago. We were not talking about everything that we were doing to support the military. The defense headquarters knew how much the Borno State Government was supporting the military, but we decided not to talk. So we said, look, we need to begin to say what we are doing now that a lot of conspiracies are being against the government. This is why the governor said it. The defense headquarters, the military, the Chris Colady, somebody I respect so much, said yesterday again on AIT and probably channels carries, I'm not too sure, that the governor misled the military by giving them, a certain information. Now, let me say that from what I know as a journalist, every information provided to the military is subject to being processed to arrive at intelligence. And then the military compares whatever intelligence that they have with their existing structure, of getting information. Now, the fact that a military or any security agencies deploy whatever kind of machinery to go and search based on whatever information that they are given and couldn't find anything does not discredit the information, because there are many elements that can affect a search result. First of all, it depends on the time between which information was given and the time you moved, to act. It also depends on the kind of technology that you deploy. It also depends on the time within whether you are operating in the daytime or in the nighttime. It also depends again on the movement of the target that you are trying to search. So there is no issue of misleading, of misleading the military there. And then thirdly, Mr. Max Danite said another thing, that Vanguard made a mistake by reporting that the governor by reporting that 77 girls were identified, whereas the governor said 54. It really shows that my elder brother, Mr. Max, probably didn't even read the Vanguard newspaper. He probably didn't read the Vanguard newspaper, because what he said is that this identification is an ongoing thing. As at the time the governor briefed the press, there were 54, and I issued a press statement on behalf of the governor. I copied to everyone, including Channels Television, informing them that as at 9 p.m., another 23 girls have been identified by their names, and that was what changed the figure to 74. So Vanguard did absolutely nothing wrong. It was Mr. Max who didn't read the newspapers, with due respect. My brother, the truth of the matter is that he also said that it was time for us to announce the figures. What do we do in the circumstances that we have found ourselves? First, the federal government accuses us of not informing the public. Now, when we inform the public, they say we ought not to. The federal government has constituted the National Information Center on Abducted Schoolgirls, headed by the Director General of the National Orientation Agency. All the information officers of the various security agencies are part of that center. The source of that information is Borno State Government. As we speak, no federal government delegation has paid a sympathy visit to Borno or even to Chibok on account of this crisis. Not even the Minister of Women Affairs, who comes from the Northeast. Abducted Schoolgirls hails from Adamawa. If anybody at the federal level has an exaggerated impression or exaggerated fear about the happenings in Borno State, he is from Adamawa. Adamawa has had its own fair share of this insurgency, and I believe she goes home. So she shouldn't have anything. The Minister of Women Affairs has not visited Chibok. The Minister of Education has not visited Chibok. Whether Special Advisor Women Affairs, no single federal government delegation has visited Chibok on account of this crisis. Let's sit down and continue to blame Borno State Government with all sorts of people.